Welcome back. Today we're going to talk about peripheral vision. And before we start, there's stuff that actively improves your eyesight, and then there's stuff that peripherally, no pun intended, improves your eyesight. And then there's stuff that maybe doesn't make your eyes worse, and then there is doesn't fit in the screen bullshit. That last part is the biggest part. Like all the stuff, like companies that sell special computer glasses, it's bullshit. Eye vitamins, Bates method, like pretty much the vast majority of stuff is nonsense. So that is the nonsense category. And then there's the maybe category that we don't really talk about, or very rarely, and much further on in Back to 2020. And then there's the peripheral category that we talk about a little bit. And that is peripheral vision is one of those things. Diet is another one of those things. And stress is another one of those things that are like, maybe they help, but if you have high myopia today and you want to have no glasses at some point, then this maybe stuff, not that important. That said, this is another one of those videos that's part Back to 2020, part YouTube audience. So if you're watching this on YouTube, there'll be a cut, after which no more stuff. And if you're watching this from Back to 2020, after the cut, there'll be a bunch more details. So first up, the general thing about peripheral vision. These limit your peripheral vision. And it's not just the glasses' fault, because also, let me show you. This, as you're staring at the screen for like hours and hours and hours and hours, at this point, like the screen is probably more like here, you're using about 3% of your whole retinal surface for what you could be looking at. As far as your whole field of vision, which if you hold your hands like right here by the side of your head, like this, I look horrible in profile. So if you hold your hands here, you can still see them. Try that out. If you're not somewhere where people think you're weird, just put your hands here and wiggle them and realize that all the way out here, you can see your hands. Now think about how often in the day you're using anything except like the central part of your vision. Remember, this is one of those, it kind of helps maybe things. There's studies done on chicken eyes. Chicken eyes are very similar to human eyes in biology. I'll probably forget if I don't. I'll link below why structurally those eyes are relevant to human eyes. They've done studies on chicken eyes where they limited the peripheral vision of the chicken and the chicken became myopic. And they repeated this study a bunch and it's absolutely relevant. So when I read this study, I started doing a bunch of trials with a bunch of students, adding more peripheral vision awareness, and kind of made a difference. It seemed to make it that people had less plateaus and improved a little more consistently, and subjectively had a much more aware experience, which I like to stick with tangible things. But peripheral awareness is one of those things where it makes sense that you wouldn't completely ignore it, all of this around you. And you do. Like as you're staring at this video, like you're just looking at this, like somebody could come up next to you and you wouldn't even notice, right? And you want to stimulate that. You want to be aware of your peripheral vision. And all that is as you're looking at the screen, just keep watching this video, but be aware that there's stuff going on around you. Be aware that there's things on the left and things on the right, and just be aware of it and notice how subjectively it makes what you see up here slightly brighter, slightly more of it, right? And again, this falls into the category of maybe. Like I'm not saying peripheral vision is going to fix your eyes, because it won't, but it's one of those things that are part of your vision that you're ignoring all the time. So I strongly recommend that if you do nothing else, just whenever you remember, or set yourself a little few times a day reminder, hey, there's more to my vision than the 3% that's right in front of me. Just be aware of it. You don't have to do anything about it. Glasses, not awesome because they train you even further not to look beyond this point. Like there's a black, like a rim around it, and then you have clear vision here, and really mostly here, and then you have nothing here. So the smaller the frame and the darker and more pronounced it is, the more you get this like tunnel vision existence. And I don't like you having to take things on faith, but trust me when I say, if you replace this kind of crap with glasses that have a bigger frame, ideally maybe no frame, like just lens, if you're low myopia, not a long story, better for you, right? I'm trying to nurse you back towards health here, right? Like people are so used to being these little like the chickens that are piled into these little tiny cages, just laying eggs all day, right? Like you live in front of your desk, in front of your computer, and you're just like, and you watch a video like this, and you're like, I don't need peripheral vision. I just need to see my computer. A lot of that, and maybe you're laughing, but there's a lot of people who are like, oh, I don't care. And that's what happens to your health when you neglect it and when you don't use it and when you don't need it. And if you're only gonna watch YouTube videos and work in the office, then maybe you don't. Anyway, peripheral vision, right? Just be aware of it. Just be a little bit aware of it. And then if you're doing it yourself in the blog, like figuring out how to improve your eyesight, just add this to the things that definitely help, right? Like centimeter measurement, using the right prescriptions, taking breaks, active focus, like the things that absolutely improve your vision, do those first. And then add things like this, peripheral vision, to it later a little bit. That's it for the YouTube part. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and if you're in back to 2020, stick around because I got more for you.